Hi everybody, this is Jeremy Guerin for Pointlessly Relevant again, the Facebook page and the YouTube page. Right now I am uploading a very lengthy video. It is about where I rank all the MCU films, also includes a lot of information and my thoughts about each film. But in doing that, I just wanted to also offer a shorter YouTube video where I again go through the MCU films, rank them from last to first, and just give a couple of thoughts about it, seeing as how not everybody will want to watch a full hour and 10-minute video, which is totally fine. However, if you want more information than what I'm about to give you, then by all means, go to the other longer video about the MCU. So here I go. Remember that just because you are at the bottom of the list, that does not make you a bad film, okay? That means you are arguably the worst of the MCU films, but that you being an MCU film still means that you are better than most superhero films. You're still enjoyable. You're still a good movie. It's just the MCU is that good. All right, so here we go, for real. Thor 2. Thor the Dark World, okay? I think it's the lesser of it. I enjoyed it. But at the same time, it had a whole lot of silly mistakes just to make things look cool. So, yeah, that's at the bottom. At number 17, I have Iron Man 2. It did a lot to establish a lot of the mythology. If it had come out later, I think that it actually would have done better and people would have thought fondly on it. But back when this happened, there had only been Iron Man, and the Incredible Hulk. In which case, when you talk about S.H.I.E.L.D., well, okay, what's that? You talk about Thor, what's that? You even reference Captain America, what's that? Nowadays, that'd be a bigger deal, but back then, it was mostly about universe building. Also, though, it gave us the Black Widow, so that's a good thing. Number 16, Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch is the dream casting for Doctor Strange. I feel that he is better in an ensemble film than a standalone character, but at the same time, I like the film. But it's still, some things held it back and kept it at number 16. Number 15, Captain America, the First Avenger. A fun film, a nice go-get-em hoorah film set in World War II. It is the origin of Captain America. It also sets up a couple things. There, again, it really suffers from a little bit of, hey, we've got a cool idea. Let's do this. That doesn't make sense. Yes, but it looks cool. Again, and I go into much more detail in the longer video, but the way that Cap dies at the end, well, he doesn't die, okay, but he's still. He's on that plane. That plane's going to destroy continents or whatever, and he has no way off of it. So he's going to dive bomb it into the ocean. He's going to be frozen for 70 years. But at the same time, we all know that he could have very well got on one of those missiles, because just earlier we saw that you can fly the missiles around like an airplane. Whatever. Okay, still really good movie. Who doesn't love Captain America at this point? Number 14, Iron Man 3. I liked Iron Man 3. I thought it was really cool. In fact, I think it is a great superhero film. You got the Iron Patriot. That was cool. You've got all these bad guys, and I know that what really hurt the film in a lot of people's eyes was the big Mandarin bait and switch, all right? Ben Kingsley has been portraying this ultimate bad guy. You'll never see me coming. Looks great in the previews. Then you go to and watch the movie, and halfway through you realize that he is just a fake, all right? A lot of people didn't like that. I thought it was hilarious, and come on, that ending battle scene where Iron Man, Tony Stark, is in all the different machines fighting super soldiers, really cool, but still, keeps it at number 14. Number 13, I have the original Thor. Now we establish who Thor is. We also establish who Chris Hemsworth is. We get Thor. It's our first glimpse to the outer space, Asgard, mystical stuff. We are also introduced to Loki. Loki was not that impressive in this movie, but he would become a lot more impressive in later films. Good movie, really helped to spring things forward. Number 12, I have The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. Now, here's the deal about this. Again, this really pushed it forward. In fact, most people, this was the point where most of us fans looked at this and say, hey, wait a second, they're building a world here. There is reference to the Avengers. Tony Stark shows up at the end. the government uses shield tech and shield tech and Stark tech to fight the Incredible Hulk. There's references to Captain America and the super soldier serum that eventually led this poor dude, Blonsky, into becoming the Abomination. All right, all this cool stuff, world building, and the great fight of the Hulk versus Abomination there at the end. Really, really cool film. We do miss Edward Norton, but quite honestly, his replacement was merited. The new guy is just much more of a natural dork than him. Okay, number 11, I have Ant-Man. A lot of people want to rate this film a whole lot higher, and who can blame them? Paul Rudd is awesomely hilarious as Ant-Man. It is a different kind of superhero film again. It is a heist superhero film. Ant-Man has different kind of powers. He can shrink really little, okay? Eventually we'll see that he can get really, really big. He can control ants and other forms of insects. It also kind of gives us the first glimpse of the Wasp, which is going to be a big deal. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her. To me, all the films that are above it, when we get into our top 10, they're just better, more entertaining, more rewatchable films, okay? It's not that I don't like Ant-Man. I love me some Ant-Man, but I also think that he is another one of those characters that works best in an ensemble and not his own solo film. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp, which comes out shortly after Infinity War, I think that I'm going to enjoy that one a whole lot more. But Ant-Man at number 11, a really, really cool film. Let's get to the top 10. Number 10, the original Iron Man, the trendsetter. All right? And I talk a lot about how this movie came to be in the other video, but Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark, and Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr. Their life patterns each other perfectly. The tone. Man, you got all this serious stuff going on in the world. You've got terrorism, and you've got all this other serious things, but at the heart of it, you have this billionaire who is hilarious, and even in the face of danger, cracks jokes. He has interesting relationships with people. He's naturally narcissistic, but still tries to consider other people's feelings. And you know what? His character arc grows and grows and grows, and even completely changes at some point in later films. Iron Man, the trendsetter, at number 10. Number 9 is Spider-Man Homecoming, which is finally the perfect Spider-Man film. Nothing against the other actors that came before this young man. Okay, if anybody wants to say who he is in the comments, that would be great. Maybe it'll come back to me, but for right now, it's not. But still, nothing against the other actors who have played Spider-Man, but the fact is, this new kid, he's 19 years old, playing a 15-year-old, and it's convincing that he's only 15 to 16 years old. He's super powered. It's a great story, the aftermath of the battle in New York and how that's affecting New York City. It's putting people in bad situations financially, and out of that, you get super villains, primarily Michael Keaton's the Vulture. Great job on that villain, and thank you so much for not killing him off there at the end. I thought that was a major mistake of the original Spider-Man films, but now you get to sort of build towards maybe a Sinister Six type of film coming up later on down the line. Interesting enough, Spider-Man Homecoming 2 will start off minutes after the Infinity War Part 2. All right, so be looking forward to that. At number 8, I have Guardians of the Galaxy number 2. Continuing the story, this takes place just a few months after the original Guardians of the Galaxy. So a lot of things have happened on Earth, but not much has happened in outer space. Finally, Peter Quill finds out who his dad is. Kurt Russell plays Ego perfectly. We get to meet Mantis. We get to get further character development of all of the Guardians, especially Yondu, who joins the Guardians of the Galaxy and heroically gives his life there at the end. Very emotional moment, one of the emotional high pitches of the whole series. To tell you the truth, as far as script goes, as far as just the story goes, that might actually be my favorite story. It's just there was a few things in the movie I felt hurt it. There was some forced humor. There was not as much action in it for a superhero film. We didn't ever really get to see Drax do anything in the movie but be funny, whereas he's this great all-powerful warrior. We didn't get to see much out of Nebula, who ends up joining the Guardians there at the end. We didn't get to see much out of Gamora either. I felt that the lack of intensity of action sequences just dragged that film down just a little bit. But hey, still a great movie, right? Number 5. We're to the top 5 now, and I'm going to go ahead and say Thor Ragnarok. I've done my best to keep away from this mentality that just because it's new, it's better. Because when you walk fresh out of a movie and Thor Ragnarok is still fresh on our minds, you're still wowed by it. Oh man, that was the best movie ever. No, give it some time. Go back and watch some original movies and really compare things. Not really, okay? But that being said, Thor Ragnarok is my number 5 because it's really good. It is a comedy. It's a superhero comedy. There are some times where there are some forced humor issues. Hey Jackson, we're recording a video, so come in and just kind of be quiet if you don't mind. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
All right, Jackson helps me out a lot on those pointlessly relevant. But anyway, number 5. Turn your volume down, it's going to hurt. All right, number 5, I did have as Thor Ragnarok. Listen, epic action sequences, really cool story. We get to see where the Hulk has been, and he has started what is evidently a 3-film character arc that's going to be majorly important for him, running from Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War 1, and Infinity War 2, whatever that is called. The final scenes, I go through in detail in the other longer video, but so epic there at the end. A little bit of forced humor here and there, but for the most part, the humor works. A potentially tragic post-credit scene, to tell you the truth. But we talk about all that in the other video if you want more details. I've got number 5, Thor Ragnarok. Did you like Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell him something.
Okay, tell me something real fast.
I also have like some YouTube videos up here.
Oh, we are going to talk more about his YouTube videos in probably a later video. But okay, you want to know what I have at number 4 all time?
Yeah.
The Black Panther.
Oh, that was cool.
It was cool. Jackson and my dad went to go see it with several teenagers. Again, more detail in the other video, but it is the best of all these solo films. And I'm not just saying that because I just saw it a week and a half ago. I did my best to be as academic in these rankings as I could. Acting, great. The bad guy, Michael B. Jordan playing Killmonger, tragic. So tragic, you could almost get yourself to root for him sometimes. The most emotionally rich and yet lively of all the bad guys ever. There's surprises. There's, what do you want, buddy?
So, can I tell them?
Yeah, tell him in just a second. Let me finish this part, okay? Jackson wants to add something. But hey, all the performances, characters that are little known from outside of comic book people that we love, that now you love as well. Okoye, the little sister, so many cool things that are coming. It's a great film. Number 3, big controversy, I know. Some people don't like it. I don't get that whatsoever. It's an Avengers film. All of these characters you love, they come together. And I'm a team guy, and so that probably has a bit of it. But the Age of Ultron. Avengers: The Age of Ultron. A whole lot of information, a whole lot of things happen, but here's the deal. We get this iconic opening scene where the Avengers are together throughout the whole movie, and it doesn't take forever to get them together. You've got the Hulkbuster fight scene. You have got Quicksilver, which I give a lot of hilarious information on why we will no longer have Quicksilver in the other video. You have the Scarlet Witch. You have Ultron, really brilliantly played. You have, who else? War Machine is also in the movie. You have this iconic final battle sequences at the battles of Kovia. You've got this great defend the bomb type of scenario where the Avengers surround the mechanism that will send down the meteor and try to protect it from all of the Ultrons in the church. Unfortunately, you had the death of Quicksilver. You also had the establishment of the Vision. And again, a great movie. I love it. Got to move on. Number 2 is the Avengers.
I think the Age of Ultron is really good.
Good.
One of my favorites. We went to go see that one together too. Number 2, I have the original Avengers, okay? The big risk had paid off. Thor did pretty well at the box office. Captain America did pretty well. The Incredible Hulk did decent, but a lot of people watched it when it came out on DVD and Blu-ray. Iron Man 1 blew people away. Iron Man 2 did really, really well, although there were a lot of critics, but it still made a lot of money. All of this leading into The Avengers, directed by Joss Whedon, a genius move. For a long time, it was, in my opinion, the best of all the MCU films. The Battle of New York is still iconic. The brief Thor versus Hulk
scene in the helicarrier was iconic. There was just so many moments when you said, "Oh, that's awesome!" Typically dealing with the Hulk in that film. Patches, cut that out. But yeah, I've got the Avengers at number 2, which brings me to my number 1 film. Okay.
Okay.
Of the MCU. We're not doing that right. Just yet. We'll show art at the end of the video. Okay. No, I gotta talk. What do you got?
Comment.
Okay, go. Tell them a comment.
Okay. So I like that had the Avengers one. And yeah. Because,
Stay in the camera. You got it.
Because it has the Avengers is.
Yeah, it has the Avengers. What else can you say? It's got the Avengers.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is so good. My number 1 film. I loved it from opening to end, and that is Captain America: Civil War. I like the opening little fight scene with the mini Avengers that take on the bad guy, Crossbones. Okay, I like the drama of the story dealing with superhuman registration, particularly government oversight, UN oversight of the Avengers. I understood the points that Captain America was trying to make. I understood the points that Iron Man were trying to make. It was really a very thought-provoked film. Great action sequences. And plus, we got our first look at the now household name, the Black Panther. Okay? We also got the new Spider-Man, the definitive Spider-Man. We got to see Ant-Man in a more team dynamic and turn to Giant Man and steal the show, much like the Hulk stole the show in those sequences in the original Avengers. We had that great battle in Germany where the two Avengers teams clash each other, and it's fabulous. And then you had the hey, I bet you think that we're going to have all these guys fight just to join up at the end against a common enemy, right? Wrong. They make us think that, but they can pull the 180 off perfectly and hilariously considered what Batman vs. Superman had just pulled on us. But the emotion of the final breaking up between Captain America and Tony Stark realizing that Bucky the Winter Soldier, albeit brainwashed, killed his parents, forever fracturing them, and the knowledge that Captain America is no longer Captain America because he gave up his shield. He's still as Nomad, I'm guessing from the comic books, as Nomad. He rescues the other enslaved Avengers, quite honestly, setting up Infinity War to where we have a place where the Avengers are not protecting the Earth. They are fractured. There are other superhumans in the universe, but what good is that going to do right now with Thanos and the Black Order coming after the Infinity Gems, many in which are already on Earth, and other things. Okay, some quick notes, real fast. What did you think?
Well, this one is good because it has a lot of different characters. Like my favorite character of that game.
Of the movie?
Of the movie was probably Ant-Man and Spider-Man.
I loved Ant-Man and Spider-Man and the Black Panther.
And War Machine.
Oh, War Machine was very, very cool. Okay, guys, so that is my shorter list. We did our best to keep it under 20 minutes. Thank you so much, and stay pointlessly relevant. Y'all have a good day.